I did not expect to be as sad as I was. Good morning. I am tired today, but I'm like at 6 weeks, and I've been trying to walk every day that I'm not working at the hospital. Bone broth has been one of my staples every morning. I was drinking it before because bone broth is so good for you. It's so good. In today's video, I am going to discuss my pregnancy, my first pregnancy. This is the first time I had ever been pregnant, with being married to my husband for 9 years, never using contraception, never using birth control, condoms, nothing. We didn't use nothing. And we never got pregnant. And then boom. Woo, whirlwind. So I'm going to talk about that, and then obviously my miscarriage and how that happened, what's going on, what our next steps are, and we'll go from there. My husband's birthday is July 5th, and my birthday is July 23rd. And so usually every year we do like a birthday dinner for everybody, right? For both me and my husband. And so we went and did that yesterday. And I'm telling you, it was so freaking hard to know this sweet little secret that I'm carrying in my belly and not say a freaking thing. Yesterday I was cramping, not like in a weird or a bad way, not in a negative way, just like normal. So I was just cramping, and it wasn't painful, but it was uncomfortable. And I almost felt like literally I didn't want any clothes on me. I just wanted to be butt naked, and I was like walking around. I felt kind of restless. I just felt like I kept needing to have a bowel movement. There was just a lot of pressure down there, and in my lower abdomen. And I just, like, the bleeding was on and off. And so what I ended up doing was, I was new to this OB. Like, I hadn't even had an appointment yet to this office. I hadn't been there. They don't know me. They don't know my situation yet. But I'm really glad I had called like the week before, so that they kind of had my name in the books-ish. Whatever. I hadn't established care, whatever. I ended up calling the office. It sent me to the triage line, and I talked to a nurse, and she said, if you want to go to the ER, you can. I definitely recommend you being seen here today, but all right, me being a nurse, if I can avoid going to the ED, the ER, I am going to avoid that. I'm not. So I just kind of waited. I waited for the office to open up. They were supposed to give me a call. They did right away, like at 8 a.m. they called. And basically all they wanted to do was for me to come in and get my labs done, to check my HCG level, to see what baseline I was at, and then we would trend that to see if it was going up or down 2 days after. Your HCG will kind of go down by half every 48 hours, give or take. Everyone's different. So what ended up happening was I got my blood drawn on Tuesday, and I had to go back on that Thursday to get it drawn again. I got my results each time the next day, and it started on Tuesday at 97, which was a little bit low for being 6 weeks. So I'm not sure. The math isn't mathing in my head, unless I had started having this miscarriage already, maybe like a couple days prior. I don't know. I'm not going to even worry about it. But so going back it was at 97, and then on Thursday, getting my results that Friday, it was like at 55. And let's see, that was last week on, right. And I went into my OB again this Tuesday, so it had been a few days, and my HCG was down to 25. Obviously, a miscarriage. From Monday to like Sunday, I bled quite a bit. I was passing a lot of tissue. This was the first time I had ever been pregnant, and so honestly, like looking back at the whole process, not process, but everything that happened, I'm like, wow, my body can get pregnant. We thought we would need outside help, like a specialist, and just the fact that we made it happen, we did it, that's pretty cool. It really only took 2 months of tracking my ovulation. I was using the clear blue ovulation strips, and doing some of my own things. Maybe I can make a video about that. If you are having a hard time getting pregnant, I can tell you some of the things I did, because it's been 9 years. So we just thought it was not going to happen. We did not have hope for us. But I truly, like, it is sad. It's sad. It happens a lot. It happens so much. So many women miscarry. It happens a lot. And it's okay, because it's not your fault. It's nothing you did. But it doesn't make it less sad. It doesn't make it hurt less, because that's still your child, and you can't help but think about, oh, I'm pregnant. If we had a boy, what would it be? What would its name be? If we had a girl, what would we name her? What colors would we want to paint the nursery? You can't help it. You can't help it. There's a risk there that you might end up miscarrying, or things can always go wrong, but it's hard not to get attached. So one thing that was kind of painful for me was going from watching first trimester vlogs to miscarriage videos, because I was curious. And in a way that too was comforting. But the coolest part about watching these was going into these women's channels, and you see these videos that they have these adorable, chubby, cute little babies that they had after their miscarriage, and it gives you some hope. I can look back at this miscarriage and the process of finding out I got pregnant. I can see some positives from it, and I learned a lot about my body. I know about the menstrual cycle, my 30-day or whatever, 28 to 34-day menstrual cycle, but there were specific things I didn't know about until I started tracking my ovulation and my cycles each month with apps and comparing each cycle. And the point is, I've learned so much about my body and about myself, and that's helped even my husband to know, hey, usually around this time my hormones are doing this, so stop being a jackass or stop doing this, and life will be a lot easier around these parts, cowboy. So if you just try to have a perspective of, this wasn't fun to go through, but I learned a few things that I'm going to apply in my life into next time, and this was cool, this wasn't cool, how can I change this, what can I do better, then you can move forward from this with a better perspective, a better knowledge of yourself, and I think that's really healthy. I am somewhat new to YouTube, but not really. I'm new to being committed. Does that count? I'm new to being committed to making videos, to being consistent. So I would love for you to subscribe if you want to. I'm gonna try to make videos just for the fun, because it's fun. I like making videos, and I love to know that there's a chance to help somebody, to uplift somebody, to improve someone's way of thinking, to feel happier, healthier. I love that. I love that. You want a baby brother or sister? You think you're gonna get a baby brother? We need to clean your nose.